shirt today is fighting a losing battle against my bra to be shown, and I was too lazy to go put on tape. So if you see my black bra peeking out, mind your business. Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video has been very long in the making, but I pitched the idea to you guys in a recent video and the consensus in the comments was yes. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys all the products I've hit pan on in the past 6 months, as well as things I'm currently trying to pan. I'm kind of combining the two categories of products because I've panned exactly 3 things. So
that is so embarrassing for your life and your soul.
So I figured it'd be fun to show you guys the 3 things I have already finished up and then show you guys the things I'm currently in progress on. Panning things for me, unfortunately, is a very rare occurrence. I'm trying to get it to be less of a rare occurrence. Because I do test out products, it is harder for me to finish things up just because I always have new things coming that I need to use instead of that. However, I've also been on a low buy / pretty much no buy except for like 2 products for the entire year. So I haven't bought any new makeup really. The only like new things I've been getting in are PR, and even then it's a little bit slower obviously because of the pandemic. So with that combined with my like drive to finish up things, I've actually made a lot of progress on certain things. So while I don't have a ton of things finished to show you guys, I do have some significant progress on products. Today's do fairy of the day is Freya. Yes, you can be the do fairy. Thank you so much for having your notification bell on. And that is all I have to say. Very basic look today. I didn't really do a ton of eyeshadow just because I have extensions on right now. I may or may not post full details of this look on Instagram, but it's... I mean, do you care? I look basic. Let's do this. This is not beer with ice cubes. It's Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm a heathen, but I'm not that type of heathen. Also, I'm underage. I've never drank alcohol my entire life. What are you talking about? Alright, let's start off with the 3 products I have finished off already. First up is the first foundation I've panned in a while, which is the Too Faced Born This Way. Too Faced Almond is like one of my best shade matches along with Anastasia 210N. It's also my shade in the Peach Perfect foundation, which I actually really enjoy. I actually really like Too Faced complexion products. I think their formulas just work really well for my skin type. Even this matte foundation, but particularly the Born This Way because it's a more luminous line. Anyways, one of the rules of my low buy was that I'm not allowed to buy any new foundations until I finish up one. So I wanted to buy the Bite Change Maker foundation earlier this year, and in an effort to do that, I used up this foundation by using it every single day for an entire month. Granted, it was already like down to here when I started doing that, but it took me a month to finish off this foundation. I really love this formula. I feel like it just works really well for my skin. I would consider repurchasing it. Right now, I'm pretty happy with my ABH Luminous, and obviously I have this going on, so I don't need to buy any new foundations, but this is a formula that I feel like really works well for me, and I do find myself from time to time like wishing I still had some of it to use, but I'm not looking to repurchase it anytime soon, if that makes sense. I also finished up the Herbivore Rose Hibiscus Coconut Water Hydrating Face Mist. No, don't buy it. Honestly, I do believe that like 99.9% of facial sprays like this in skincare are pretty worthless and don't really do anything to your skincare routine. It'd be one thing if it was like a toner and face mist format, but this is just a face mist of coconut water. It's really not going to do that much to your skin. Extremely overpriced for what it is. I got this in like a gift set. I think it was like a skincare gift set from Sephora. I definitely wouldn't have bought this on my own, and also I don't think I'm going to be repurchasing anything from Herbivore as a brand. Some of their products are nice in theory, but because they're very like botanical clean beauty, they don't use any preservatives, so their skincare products go bad really, really quickly. I think I've had 2 products from them actually develop mold.
That's so upsetting.
Within like 3 months of me opening them, and I don't even live in a very humid climate. I live in the desert. I live in dry California, so I can't imagine how it would be if you lived in like New York or Hawaii, anywhere that's more humid. So yeah, this was not worth it. Basically, the way that I used it up was whenever I was studying. I study with no makeup on, obviously. Whenever I was studying and felt like I needed like a, I don't know, something to wake me up, I would just kind of but you don't need like a expensive coconut water mist to do that. You can just use water. Operant, condition yourself like a dog. And then the last thing I finished off was the Drunk Elephant TLC Sukari Baby Facial. This is no joke. This is one of the most like heavy duty, like crazy rapid result products I've ever seen. As far as at-home treatments go, I think this is one of the strongest products. However, I do think that the Ordinary's AHA and BHA basically gives you the same results. In my opinion, I like the formula and the texture of this one better, and also it's like $7 instead of 60 or something? I don't know. This for me is one of the Ordinary's best products, and I like the Ordinary as a brand better than Drunk Elephant, so this is something I will continue using. I would not repurchase this. Alright, next up, let's get into the makeup products I'm trying to pan. There are quite a few things, starting off with my Modern Renaissance. I've already hit pan on 2 of the shades in here. So I've got pan on Golden Ochre and Tempura, and then I'm not really sure how the camera will pick it up, but I do have deep dips in Vermeer, Born Fresco, Warm Taupe, Cypress Umber, a little bit in Raw Sienna as well, and Burnt Orange. For me, despite having had this for like 4 years. The formula is still performing really well for me. Again, I do live in a very dry climate, so that might be a factor. So I really love this one. It's really good for creating very, very soft glams. So the way I'm planning to use this one up is I'm starting my internship next week for summer, and it's in a medical setting, so if I am wearing makeup to work, it's going to be very neutral, and I think this is going to be perfect for that. So hopefully by using this every day that I go into work, I will hit pan on probably warm taupe next. This I use a lot as a transition shade. I've just been really enjoying kind of like cool tone brown in my crease rather than something a little bit warmer like this chunk over here. So hitting pan on an eyeshadow palette is a very rare occurrence for me, and I just want to do more damage to this. This I've been working on for the past couple months, and I mentioned it before. I'm not making as much progress as I would like to, and it's kind of frustrating me, but I'm currently trying to pan a contour. Contours in general, pretty difficult to pan if they're powders, but this is the Nabla contour. But this is the Nabla powder contour. I don't care. But this is the Nabla powder contour in the shade Gotham, and I swear I picked the most densely packed, like hard pressed powder contour to get through. So far I've worked through a good amount of the kind of like cable knit embossing on top and gotten through the like Nabla word. So it almost partially looks like a smooth powder on the top now, but it's such a deep pan, like that's ridiculous. So I'm going to be using this for the next like year or so. I hate the way that powder contour looks on my nose, so I really can only use this one on my cheekbones, which kind of limits the amount that I'm able to use this one up. So my solution to that has been trying to contour in places I normally wouldn't. So I'll do my cheekbones obviously, but I've started contouring like around my jawline, which I didn't used to do because I feel like my jawline looks normal or the same whenever I do that. I'm also doing contour a little bit up here around my eye just to kind of sweep that look up. I've even resorted to, if I'm wearing a shirt like I am today, taking this and just going, you know.
Big boobs? What? Child. Anyway, so
I'm definitely putting an effort on this one. I'm trying to not use it on my eyes though, just because I'd rather, if I'm going to use this type of shade in my eyes, I'd rather go into warm taupe from here. It's a lot to remember sometimes. I do like it overall, but I definitely wouldn't repurchase because I like the way that cream contour looks on me in all forms, so probably will not be buying any more powder contours anytime soon. So I've got my entire collection of 4-3 Beauty face milks, and right now my goal is to finish up 2 of these. So I'll show you what I have right now. I have 6 face milks right now, 2 of the mini ones, the Mulan Jasmine and then the watermelon. And then for big ones I have avocado, papaya, acai, and coconut. I like these a lot. They're not something that I would be devastated if I didn't have in my skincare routine, but I do have a practical use for them, especially when I'm like on campus, at school, in the dorms. The way that I like to use these is that I would do all my classes for the day. I usually finish around like 5 p.m. The second that I get back to my dorm, I like to wash my face and take off my makeup. However, when I do that, it's still light outside. It doesn't get dark until around like 7:30 most of the time. So I don't want to do like my nighttime skincare routine at that point, if that makes sense. But I want something that's moisturizing on my face to kind of hold me over until I do my nighttime skincare routine, which is usually like right before I go to bed. So I'll take off my makeup and then put on one of the face milks. I'll go to the gym, I'll have dinner, I'll hang out with my friends, I'll study, and then I'll like re-rinse my face. I don't wash it again, but I like just splash it with water to get everything off, and then I'll do my nighttime skincare routine. And then the way I've been using it while I'm at home on filming days, so today I'll take off my makeup after I finish filming, but again, don't want to do my nighttime skincare routine, so I'll put this on. Yeah. So right now the ones that I'm pretty close to finishing up are the avocado and the watermelon. I feel like I can finish avocado within the next 2 weeks or so. Watermelon maybe a little bit after that. And then after that, I think the next one I'm going to focus on finishing up will be the acai. Overall, I really like these, especially if you have dry skin like me and you just kind of find yourself needing an extra boost of moisture throughout the day. These are awesome for that. But I wouldn't say that they're like a serum, and they're definitely not like a full moisturizer. You still need moisturizer later on in the day, but this is like a good just like boost. For someone who doesn't powder their face on a daily basis, awfully bold of me to try to pan 2 powders. I got 2 things, pressed powder and an under eye powder. So this under eye powder is the e.l.f. high definition under eye setting powder. I don't even know if e.l.f. makes this product anymore. Kind of feel bad. I haven't checked up on e.l.f. as a brand in a while. They were like the first makeup brand I ever purchased from. I feel like a weird sense of loyalty to them, but also they're boring me. So anyways, this is as the name would imply, an under eye setting powder dedicated for just your under eyes. It is very tiny, but it's also very finely milled. You do not need a ton of product, and it's definitely not designed for like baking your under eyes, so you don't need like a heaping wad of powder to do your under eyes. I just kind of like to shake a little bit into the cap, take a very small brush, and just kind of lightly set my under eyes, and I feel like it looks a lot smoother and just better than baking. So I've got probably like 3 millimeters left of product in here. My only obstacle is that I just intuitively, whenever I'm setting my under eyes, I reach for the Fenty Beauty lavender powder, and I need to use this one. I just forget to because the lavender powder, superior. So this is nice, hoping to finish it soon, but I wouldn't repurchase because A, Fenty, and B, I don't know if they even make this anymore, so yeah. And then I'm also trying to hit pan on the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder from Charlotte Tilbury. This is something I've had for quite a bit. Made a decent dip in here, but I find myself reserving this for special occasions because it's like, A, it's a powder that was $40-something, so acting stupid, what's happening? But on the rare occasions that I do want to powder my face, this is something that I really, really enjoy the look of. I feel like this does a really nice job of kind of giving me this velvet blur, but if I did a luminous foundation underneath it, it doesn't completely just like dampen out that dewiness. So I like this. I know a lot of people carry this as their powder in their purses. My problem with that is I like applying my powder with a brush, and I don't want to carry a brush in my purse. I've just been keeping this on my vanity in sight so that whenever I do want to kind of give myself a more velvety, smoothed out look, but not completely matte, this is what I reach for. And hopefully I have a decent dip in here, but again, it's pressed powder and these are fairly densely packed, so you get a lot of product in here, and I don't feel like I'll be hitting pan on this immediately, but hopefully soon. Got a concealer.
Oh my god.
Tarte Shape Tape. This is the second Tarte Shape Tape I've ever owned. I have gone through one Tarte Shape Tape completely before, and that was back when it was my favorite concealer. It's no longer my favorite concealer. I don't think it's bad by any means. I definitely don't think that it was worth the astronomical amount of hype that it got. For me, it's just a full coverage concealer that happens to cover up literally anything, but it does look like concealer on you. It doesn't look like smooth and seamless. So I'm in the shade Light Sand. I would say I've got like maybe 50% or so to go. The problem with this concealer is that there's a lot of product hiding, so after I like finish up the amount that I can get out with just the applicator, I'm gonna take the stopper out and get all the product. We don't waste in this house. My other obstacle is that I kind of don't want to use this one all the time, so I just kind of have to force myself like, hey, use the Shape Tape. It's not your favorite concealer, but it does the job. So you can probably tell, will not be repurchasing this one. It's a good concealer, but I don't think it's the end all be all of concealers. Next up, like the Modern Renaissance, is one that I'm not just trying to hit pan on, I'm trying to finish. This is my Tarte Amazonian Clay 12 Hour Blush in the shade Party. Oh, it looks like I've done a really good amount of damage to this one. However,
You want to know what? No, I am going to leave.
the amount of product I have left in here to use up is gonna give me an aneurysm. This is like the Nabla Contour, incredibly densely packed. These blushes are like hard pressed, so you get a lot of blush in here pressed into a very small amount, so it looks like you don't have a ton left, but you gotta dig and dig and dig to actually make progress with this one. However, it is a very easy color to use. It matches with literally everything. I think Party is one of the most versatile colors, and I really do enjoy this formula a lot. Would not repurchase because I don't need any more blushes, but this is something I am trying to finish up. Next foundation on my foundation kill list is the Dior Skin Forever foundation. This I've had for ages, and I know this because I bought this on the recommendation of Jaclyn Hill. So I bought this when I watched Jaclyn Hill, which was a long ass time ago. I'm in the shade 15. It's not the best shade match for me. This is a very scented foundation, so I would be wary of that. It has a bit of a perfumey scent. I'm sometimes bothered by fragrance, sometimes not. It really just depends on the product. Overall, I do like how this looks on my skin. It's a very full coverage foundation, but has a bit of a luminous, kind of vaguely skin-like finish. It's a little bit too full coverage for me to feel like it's a really skin-like looking foundation, but it attempts. There was an attempt that was made. So I like how this one looks on the skin. It does look really beautiful on camera. So I'm right here in the foundation. I feel like I can use this one in maybe 1 to 2 months of consistent wear, but I've been wearing this in many videos recently because I've just been trying to use it up, and I feel like I will be able to finish it up soon, but I will not be repurchasing it. I do feel like in terms of like luxury makeup from designer brands, I feel like foundation is usually the best thing that designer brands make, but even then, unless you're YSL all hours, it's not really worth it. Next up, a lifetime of frustration. I'm currently trying to pan this bitch. Don't know what I was thinking when I added this to the list of things I want to try and hit pan on, but hey, pan bronzer is huge, so my strategy has just been to only use the very center. Hopefully I will hit pan in that way, but still, there's a lot of bronzer to be used up in here. I used to say that this was like my favorite bronzer in the entire world. It no longer is. I think this is a really beautiful, smooth, gorgeous formula, and if you're wanting to splurge on a really beautiful bronzer, this I think is gorgeous. In terms of formula, it has been surpassed by the Cover FX monochromatic Sunkissed bronze. However, this is lovely, and I do like how this looks on my skin. So it is the bronzer I'm currently wearing all around the perimeter of my face. It's going to be very hard to hit pan on, but that is probably a huge plus for you if you're just looking for a bronzer that will last you for a very long time. Just 4 more things. I'm currently trying to hit pan on a certain Super Shock shadow, but it's not Ritz. That's right, I'm making a conscious effort to use something that's not Ritz on my eyes for once. This is the ColourPop Super Shock in the shade Birthday Wish. It's actually very similar to Ritz, basically like a kind of ivory sheer shade with beautiful kind of like rainbow glitter throughout. I think it's beautiful, a little bit less glittery on the eyes and a little bit like less wet than Ritz is, but still gorgeous. So I'm trying to use this one up. I don't know how people hit pan on Super Shocks so easily. I've seen some people hit pan on Super Shocks within like 2 months. I don't know how you do that. Like, please give me tips. I'm struggling hard. Might seem kind of counterproductive to have 2 different blushes in here, but this is a cream, so I don't think I'd be using it in the same context as the powder one anyways. My Kaja Cheeky Stamp blush in the shade Flirty. I really don't love this blush. I've talked about it before. I feel like you just don't get a lot of product in here, and it's you spend a lot of money on the gimmick of the cheek stamp that doesn't really do that great of a job anyways, and you're not getting a huge amount of product. I definitely feel like this will be very easy to go through, and the way that I've been using this is instead of using the dumb cheek stamp, I've just been going in with a blush brush and applying it directly. So I feel like doing that, I can finish this up very quickly because, again, it's a cushion and you don't get a ton of product in here. Another concealer, but I'm not using it for concealer purposes. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Light Neutral 15. I hate this. As a concealer, I do not like this formula at all. It looks really horrendous on my under eyes. So I've been using this in 2 different ways. One, I'll use it as an eye primer. I know that some people are like, you can't use concealer as an eye primer. I'll do what I want. I don't really have the oiliest eyelids, so for me, concealer does work as an eyelid primer. And this one, I feel like it has a nice thin texture to it and spreads out really easily, so for me, this makes a really good eye primer. I've also been really liking this as a foundation. You guys know I haven't really been doing foundation all over my face recently. I've been doing like spot foundationing in the places that I need it, and I've liked it so much better. This just makes it very easy. I'll just kind of swipe this onto like my cheeks to cover up redness, my nose, a little bit up here on my forehead and on my chin, and then just blend that out. Again, this has such a thin texture, it just looks so good on the skin. Not on my under eyes for some reason though. I feel like that thin texture makes it crease really, really easily on the under eyes, even if I set it down in place. And then once you set it in place, the textures don't play very well together. So I don't know why this doesn't look great on my under eyes, but it does look nice on my eyelids and then all over my face. Probably would not repurchase this, but I'm trying to use it up. And again, I think I'm like right here with product, so doing a pretty good job. And then last but not least, I'm working on a lip balm right now. It's from a brand called Emile Cordon, and they are based in New York. They do like luxury lip care products. They sent me a PR mailer with 4 of their lip balms. As you can see, I have a pretty deep dip in this one. This is the shade Powdered Rose. So I started using these lip balms. I like them. I think they're really, really good lip balms. However, will not repurchase because this lip balm is $65. That is just dumb. I wish I'd known before I'd started using this and kind of fallen in love, but they weren't lying when they said luxury lip care. I feel like it's actually very similar in texture to the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask in Vanilla. This is my favorite. Probably what I'll be trying to pan next after I finish this one. But even after I finish the Powdered Rose one, I still have 3 other Emile Cordon lip balms, which is nice, but hey. So currently trying to finish this one up. It is a huge amount of product in here, so it's expensive, but at least you're getting a ton of lip balm. However, yeah, I don't need to finish this sentence. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hopefully will do an update on this with some decent progress in a couple months. I'll try and keep the empties, but they might get thrown away. Who knows? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe down below and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Turn on your notification bell to be the do fairy of the day, and if you made it to the very end of the video, you get the bonus meme. Go be excellent today. I love you. Bye.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow.